Good day everyone, it is CryptoPortfolio.io project and my name is Dan. Today I will review one of the most anticipated Ethereum-based projects called Status. This decision to make a review on Status was made by you, the subscribers of my Telegram channel. I want to say thank you for your participation, and I'll make sure this will not be the last project when you will make a decision on the topic of the next video. About Status I heard during the DAPP 2 conference, and I, as many other Ethereum enthusiasts, was the first one to register for alpha and try out great features of this mobile application. I was amazed by how easy it will be for average consumer to experience wonders of Ethereum ecosystem. Of course, it has a lot of bugs, but it is called alpha stage for a reason. Let's move on to the scheme part of my presentation. If you have already seen my Melonport presentation, you have understanding of what this review will consist of. But I have a surprise for you. Just watch this review until the end to see what I have prepared exclusively for you. One of the most inspiring parts of this presentation is the Status team. As you know, I'm Russian, and it was pleasant to know that the Status team consists of 3 Russians and 1 Ukrainian. And the best part is that they are engaged in the most important aspects of bringing Ethereum to average consumer. As far as I understand, everybody in the team has background in coding, so you shouldn't worry about bugs when the final version of Status will be released to the Android and iOS markets. So what is Status? Basically, Status is a messenger which has much more power inside than your average messenger. It is a gateway to all the Ethereum ecosystem through a display of a mobile phone. This project is believed to achieve what Bitcoin has failed to achieve: mass adoption. What are the current and future features of Status? The main feature is to make a mobile MetaMask. If you don't know what MetaMask is, just type it in Google and see. So you will be able to access any Ethereum-based project and be able to do any type of transaction you need. For example, you will be able to invest your Ether in any portfolio which suits you in Melonport, or you could gamble your Ether playing roulette games. And a crucial part here is seamless way to communicate with those projects. Another big feature which is coming to Status in the near future is the DAPP store, where all the DApps will be grouped and structured. Also, as far as I know, there will be curators which will be able to rate DApps and group them. Basically, it is iOS App Store, but with Ethereum decentralized applications. Finally, my most favorite part, chatbots. I think that many people are familiar with bots from Telegram, especially the ones who tried my crypto portfolio bot for alerts, prices, capitalizations, and so on. But just imagine at any given time you will be able to send some Ether to TaxiBot and your location. This bot will immediately send you a cab driver and no middleman will interfere. Later I will expand on this amazing chatbot thing, but guys, this is the future. And we have come to the most basic part of Status, the place where you could send some Ether to friends and friends could send you some Ether too. But it doesn't end here. Do not forget that Status will also be able to accommodate vendors on their platform, so that you can buy Ether for fiat in person by looking at the special Status map of vendors. Or you could buy a haircut by sending Ether to the hairdresser wallet. I think this will be especially actual for Californian dwellers. Guys, I'm hyped. I don't think it is necessary for me to make you believe that mobile phones and social applications are what is in trend right now. You can assure yourself in it by simply looking around and seeing a lot of people who spend their lives messaging each other non-stop. But if you are still in doubt, look at those graphs. Mobile phones overtook desktop users in 2014. This is already the future we live in. Now we simply have to use this environment for our benefit. And Status team has clearly understood this. Here I created a little illustration of what competition for Status looks like right now. The main competitor is WeChat, which has created this futuristic look for Chinese messengers. This app gives you ability to forget about sites, other mobile apps. You can buy services of house cleaners through this app. You can buy food in this messenger. And this is what Status has to concentrate on. Bring this ecosystem of convenient payments to its platform. Then we have so-called functional competitors, which have the advantages Status team has to adopt. First of all, chatbot system of Telegram, user base of WhatsApp, and stickers market from Vibe. The competition will be harsh, but Status has what none other players on the market have. It is Ethereum. This is the killer feature. And we move to the details. The favorite part of Status application is that it is 100% Ethereum built. Storage is form-based and messaging is whisper-based. You even have to download part of Ethereum blockchain using built-in light client of Ethereum. Complete decentralization and no compromise. Of course, it has its disadvantages, especially considering that you have to download quite a lot of information on your mobile phone. But I feel that this disadvantage will be resolved by Ethereum developers and Status team sooner or later. In my opinion, Status, if everything will go according to plan, will experience so-called waves of adoption. Each stage is directly connected with certain user types. In the end, unfortunately, everything depends on how convenient Ethereum will be. But we are believers, right? Ethereum wouldn't exist if it wasn't for believers in this project. Right now, the main user base of Status is Ethereum and Status enthusiasts, including me. But when the bugs are fixed, features added, Ethereum users will flood in this application. Then we will ask our friends to install this app so we could return them favors in Ethers, of course. Then it is the time of vendors and buyers. This is going to be a market for Ethereum-based payments. Finally, from this and on, average consumer will come and mass adoption will be inevitable. So what can you do with chatbots? Everything. Ordering food, conversions of Ether to some other digital currencies, taxi cabs, ticket bots, and everything you can only imagine in one place. Completely decentralized, anonymous, without middlemen, algorithm-based, and, the most importantly, Ethereum-based. This is going to be the world where human participation will decrease and algorithms will take over the jobs of many people. From one side, there is going to be a lot of unemployed people because of it, but from the other side, this is the brave new world we are all trying to build. And believe me, it is much closer than colonization of planets by humans. Vendors will be one of the most important parts of Status. Using Discover tab, you'll be able to find, for example, Ether vendors nearby and buy some tokens for fiat from him. Vendors can sell not only Ether, they can sell other digital tokens, material things, and even bananas for Ethers. Do not forget that Status developers also have to eat, so expect some level of monetization, but do not be overwhelmed by this yet. Status devs promise to make a step-by-step transition towards monetizing anything in the Status app. If you're an entrepreneur and could already prepare for opportunities of Status, you just have to analyze what will be the things Status users will actually want to buy using Ethers. Finally guys, a surprise for you, I have recorded a little interview with Status co-founders. I hope you like it, even though it's a short interview. Hi guys.
Hi, Dennis. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Absolutely great. First of all, thank you both for accepting my invitation for an interview. I have just finished the presentation review of your Status app. It is fantastic. And I really wanted to make a bonus for my viewers in form of an interview with you. I've listened to a lot of podcasts, including recent Ether review with Arthur Falls, and watched almost all your public appearances. So I will try to ask you the questions which were not asked before and try keeping this interview short and informative. So first of all, is it okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
First of all, guys, can you turn on the video, please? Sorry that I don't have one, but seeing your faces is very important. So first of all, is how did you assemble your international team? As I can see, you have 3 Russians that work in Status. And how was that process of assembling this team? Can you explain, please?
Yeah, I mean, our last business was like a remote team as well. So I guess it's kind of a skill set we've developed over time. But it's really just a matter of posting up jobs where remote is allowed. And it's like a lot of developers I think there's an increasing number of developers who will happily work in remote positions, and you just have a standard interview process for that.
Yep.
And everybody is in Singapore or remote access?
It's all remote, but yeah, like as you said, it's Eurocentric, and in Russia, of course, there's a couple of developers.
And then, yeah, we do have sort of the legal entity in Singapore and technically a headquarters in Singapore. Both Jared and I, we travel around a lot.
So, and Singapore entity, because of the laws which Singapore has, right? That
Yeah, well,
it suits you.
Yeah, I think Singapore is quite progressive in terms of the way they're heading with financial regulation. Switzerland would be like another jurisdiction that's pretty appealing there. For us, it sort of also came down to just ease of doing business, like the ease of incorporating in Singapore, low corporate tax, and they also have these sort of fintech sandbox, which we were looking into as well at the time, which would allow you to sort of not have to abide by all of the existing financial regulation until you reach a certain point. And for like a startup, that's very appealing. So you really just want to have the sort of freedom to innovate and experiment.
They also have many numerous sort of trade agreements with other countries, which makes it very easy to access other countries if you were looking to do user acquisition.
It's useful. Then actually my most, in my opinion, very interesting question is about chatbot. How important will bots be for status application?
Right. So I think when talking about chatbots, we're talking about the essentially decentralized chatbots where the code is actually run on your device as opposed to some kind of server. How important they will be, I think conversational crypto commerce is going to be quite large. Sometimes it's easier to just deal with a familiar user interface than it is to go to a whole new app or a new website. But it really depends on the use case, and DAPP developers will be able to choose between either option.
I agree. So can you tell me a little more about DAPP Store? Will it look like Apple App Store?
So we won't. I mean, it won't be like an app store. It'll be like a DAPP directory. We're still thinking about this because the problem with like the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store is you have a finite amount of sort of real estate that has to be shared among top DApps or whatever category the user is looking at the current time. And currently in Google Play and the Apple App Stores, they depend on these sort of rating systems and algorithms which can be gamed. And so if we do this, it'll end up looking like sort of a community curation. The other aspect of that is paid dApps don't necessarily make sense upfront in the same way that you buy a product on the App Store. Maybe someone smarter than ourselves will be able to figure that out. But I think it'll probably, in its current version, it'll probably look something visually similar, but I think it will work fundamentally differently.
And when do you plan to finish all the features and release the status app on Android and iPhones?
Okay, so there's a timeline that's floating around. You can probably find it in our Slack, and I can put it up on the wiki as well. The core features and the base sort of foundation we want to have by Q3 of this year, and then we'll be going into security audits. And during this time, we'll also be working on our first default dApps, which will be things like the sticker marker, the DAPP directory, and our global teller network, which is a sort of fiat to crypto token exchange.
And guys, do you feel the burden on your shoulders of creating the app that will lead to mass adoption?
I don't know if it's a burden. It's certainly exciting. I think our largest concern is making sure that we've done everything we can possibly do to ensure the store of value of Ether is secure on your phone. And we're very excited to lead Status and Ethereum towards mass adoption.
Yeah, I think that's really exciting. I would also say that I think there are many other projects that will potentially lead to mass adoption as well. So we're just one of many.
Yeah, we're all a huge community. We're all working towards it.
Yes, as far as I remember, during DEF CON 2, there were two projects which were the most favored by Twitter users. It was the first one, Santander, who wanted to digitalize cash, and your project. And finally, my question is about recent commit ETH. So, as far as I understand, it is a community-driven way to receive Ether in exchange for GitHub contribution to the Status project. So, can you tell how others can participate in this project?
Sure. I mean, like CommitEth is fully open source, so anyone can contribute to that. We have plans to decentralize a lot of the current aspects of CommitEth into smart contracts. I mean, it's basically a free project that we need to that for the community that we also need to which is why we're creating it in the first place.
Yeah, so it's not just for Status's repositories. Like, anyone is free to go and use it and incorporate it within the open source project.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so thank you guys for this interview. I'm hyped for this project and I hope you will achieve the goals you have set up for Status.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.